Welcome everyone to Home Cooking is for the Birds. We would greatly appreciate it if you would like, share, and subscribe. So I found my vintage chocolate gravy recipe. It does call for 5 ingredients, but I'm only using 4. I've got flour, sugar, cocoa, and milk. It calls for butter, and if you're using an iron skillet, you'll want to add that butter, about 2 tablespoons, but I'm using an aluminum pan. And I'm getting started here, and we're going to add 2 heaping tablespoons of flour. But the reason I use aluminum pan is because it cleans up so good. So you could use a pot if you wanted to. Now we're going to add the cocoa, and we're going to add 2 tablespoons of cocoa, 2 heaping tablespoons. Now the sugar, and we are going to add a half a cup of sugar. The original recipe actually called for 1 cup, but I only used a half a cup, but you can use a whole cup. You do you. So now you'll see me blending it, and you're going to really want to get those flour clumps out of there. And you're just going to blend, 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 mix that cocoa, sugar, and flour together. And next we're going to add 1 cup of milk. Now at this point I have not cut the stovetop on because we're just using this pan as a bowl, because it's one less dish that you have to dirty up. So I just mix it in the pan and add a cup of milk and stir. Now this is not going to mix very well, but we're just getting those dry ingredients wet before we turn that stovetop on. I'm mixing it, and go ahead and turn your stovetop, that eye, on to medium to low, and add the other cup of milk. So that's 2 cups of milk total. Then we're going to stir, guys. You are not going to leave this. It takes about 15 minutes. You do need a little patience here, and just keep stirring, 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 because that's going to make that gravy really smooth and silky. Look at that. It's going well. Now I did leave it for about 30 seconds to wipe up my flour bomb that I created there. My husband says when he sees me get the white lily, he knows that we're going to have a flour bomb in the kitchen, and we do. I admit it, I'm a messy cook. And just keep stirring, and then you're going to actually start to see it thicken. And you're going to leave this for 1 minute and go grab you a bowl, because you're going to pour this into the bowl. But leave it for 1 minute, no longer than 1 minute, and you'll see it start to really bubble. And you're giving it time to start thickening up. However, I don't let this get to a rolling boil, because it actually continues to cook when you pour it in the bowl. It thickens up. So just stir it around there. Ah, that looks so good, and it was good. It was so good. I'm actually going to have more tonight. And this will keep in the refrigerator up to a week. Now we're going to pour it in the bowl. Look at that. So smooth and just, oh, it's just a chocolate lover's dream, this chocolate gravy. Pour it into the bowl, and I'm going to show you my pan. It will actually stick just a little bit to the pan, no matter what pan you use. In the past, I've never had it not stick somewhat, but if you'll just run a little water in that and let it set for a few minutes, you can use a scouring pad to clean it up. And yes, I actually licked that spoon. It's that good. And there you have it. There is my chocolate gravy recipe, and I made a pan of biscuits, so please come back and watch that. I will try to post that later. And look at that gravy just rolling off those biscuits, just so smooth and silky, and it is so good. And a little history for you guys that like history. This recipe actually was around during the Revolutionary War, and also the historians think around the 1800s it started in the Appalachian area. So I hope you enjoyed.